Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. The smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between two people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
It's time for state championship basketball. The quarterfinals march on here in Class 5A from the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines as our final matchup of the 5A quarterfinals sees the third-seeded Waukee Northwest Wolves taking on the number 6 seed Iowa City West Trojans. Hi again, everyone, with Andy Pollock. This is BJ Shaban here as we are courtside for this final 5A quarterfinal. And Andy, when you look at the two teams, we're going to see a lot of power and grit out on the court.
Definitely power and grit, but I think you're going to see a little finesse from the Iowa City West side. This is a team that loves to shoot the three. They're going to do it a bunch. As of right now, they're the second best three-point shooting team in the state. Maybe for just a few minutes longer, they might be the first very soon.
Well, and for Waukee Northwest, this team has been on a power trip throughout the regular season. Started off a little slow, but they've really picked it up as we take a look at our road to state and their resumes coming into this one. Iowa City West able to beat their crosstown rival Liberty to advance here to the state tournament. They can really, when they get to the line, they can shoot. They've got Grace Fincham leading the way, averaging nearly 19 a game, and then Abby Newmiller with 10. Meanwhile, for Waukee Northwest, they beat Pleasant Valley. In fact, they beat everybody soundly. Beat Linmar in the opener by 37, Pleasant Valley by 42 to advance to the state tournament. You know, they score a lot. They can pass the ball. Romy Croat, keep an eye on her, and Sadie McCann.
They're just a lot of winners. We're going to talk about that a lot through the course of the day, but you look up and down this lineup, these are gals who have had success in a lot of different places in life.
Well, when we come back, we'll dive deeper into today's game with our Seeds for Success presented by Channel Seeds, and then the starting lineups. It's all coming up as you're watching the 2026 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Whether you volunteer or hang with friends, play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
As title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we're proud to support this fantastic event. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we believe that strong farms and strong schools fuel strong futures. Partnering with the Girls Union allows us to celebrate Iowa's youth while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is no small feat, and it takes a strong support system. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we're able to honor students for their outstanding achievements in each of their sports and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau helps our organization provide awards, grants, and scholarships to honor excellence in athletics and academics.
Whether you're a student competing today or a fan cheering from home, we all play a role in making our state shine. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on a fantastic season, and good luck.
We're getting you ready for Waukee Northwest and Iowa City West here from the KC Center as the Class 5A quarterfinals march on. The winner of this one will meet Dowling Catholic coming up on Thursday morning for the right to play in the state championship. So as we look at the matchup, the keys to the game, what are they?
Well, first of all, Waukee Northwest, this is a team and a lot of girls who've had success all the way across the board in a lot of different sports, keeping that championship mentality. And every year, no matter the sport, no matter how rough it starts, by the end they are playing with the best of them, and that's no different right now on the basketball side. Mentioned already that Iowa City West, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the state, and they're going to just have to keep shooting. They're going to be out-heighted today. You're going to see some great athleticism on the other side. Iowa City West not going to back down, but it's important they hit some of those shots, and if they don't fall, the average will eventually catch up. Just keep shooting, and that ties in the bowl. Just keep calm. Stick with your game plan. We saw it pay off for all the teams we've seen so far today. Stick with that game plan. Whoever executes best in the end comes out on top.
Well, Iowa City West making their first state tournament appearance since 2019, and for Waukee Northwest playing in back-to-back state tournaments. And last year was the first time they made it here to the arena, and now get an opportunity in the quarterfinals. So it's Iowa City West. The Trojans come rolling right in, averaging about 56 per game. And they've hit some milestones over the season. But let's get introduced to both teams. Let's turn it over to today's public address announcer, Tim Fitzpatrick.
Northwest Wolves. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Now, fans, at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Iowa City West High School and Waukee Northwest High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school is asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Natalie Smith from Winterset High School, a member of the IGHSAU Student Athlete Advisory Committee, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school's scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Iowa City West High School, Dennis and Susan Cook. And from Waukee Northwest High School, Larry and Gail McDowell. The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by everyone here present today. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation and invite you to just enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players and coaches in today's 5A quarterfinal matchup. Today's team intros brought to you by Hy-Vee. First of all, here are your non-starters for the visitors from Iowa City West. Number 3, Callie Bruning. Number 4, Savannah Matthias. Number 11, Josephine Austin. Number 13, Olivia Headings. Number 14, Talene Rahal. Number 21, Kate Havel. Number 22, Olivia Scott. Number 23, Abigail Ohms. 31, Ellie DeWard. And 33, Kira Baldwin. Your assistant coaches, Jesse Searles, Paul Ressler, Peyton Bush, and Kareen Sheffield. Now let's meet your non-starters and assistant coaches for Waukee Northwest. Number 0, Grace McCann. Number 2, Kennedy Princehouse. Number 4, Olivia IGHSAU. Number 10, Dylan Peterson. Number 14, Leah Janulevitz. Number 20, Quinn Jorgensen. Number 30, Liv Brown. Number 40, Chloe Moen. 44, Olivia Templeman. Number 50, Victoria Burpo. 52, Hadley Gensler. And 54, Emery Smith. Your assistant coaches, Trent Smith, Ben Dewey, Francis Nagusi, and Ty Walsh. And now, here are your starters for this 5A quarterfinal. For the Trojans, at guard, a 5'5" senior, number 2, Ava Fries. For the Wolves, at guard, a 5'10" sophomore, number 12, Sadie McCann. For Iowa City West, at a guard, a 5'9" senior, number 5, Kate Van Wanning. For Waukee Northwest, at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Vanna Billich. For the Trojans, at forward, a 6' senior, number 10, Abby Newmiller. For the Wolves, at forward, a 6'2" junior, number 24, Logan Vogt. For Iowa City West, at forward, a 5'10" senior, number 12, Grace Fincham. For the Wolves, at guard, a 5'9" junior, number 32, Romy Croat. And for Iowa City West, at guard, a 5'7" junior, number 20, Sasha Baldwin. For Waukee Northwest, at forward, a 6'1" junior, number 34, Cassidy Denberg. Head coach for the Trojans is Nate Fries. And for the Wolves, Sam Powell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you our officials for today's game as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Christopher Thomas, Ben Lechtenberg, Bill Mock, and your bench official, Kendall Brown. All right, who's ready for state tournament basketball.
And we are with Andy Pollock, BJ Shaven here courtside as it's the Waukee Northwest Wolves entering as the 3 seed, taking on the 6-seeded Iowa City West Trojans. The Wolves wearing their home white uniforms with navy blue, and for the Trojans wearing the pink uniforms with black numbers trimmed in white. As we're about ready to go. Again on the floor for the Wolves, you've got Village, Croat, Danberg, Vogt, and McCann. And for Iowa City West, it's Newmiller, Fincham, Baldwin, Freeze, and Waning. As this one is underway, as it'll be controlled by Waukee Northwest. Again, rolling into the tournament, winning by an average of nearly 40 points in their postseason play so far. They go inside to Danberg, spins left, comes back right, and gets the opening bucket.
Early on, no double for Danberg down low, and she doesn't score a ton, but man, if you're going to leave the 6'1 junior alone, that's going to be an easy bucket for her, just about 4 feet from there where she catches it.
The Wolves showing some pressure. A little 1-2-2 as Iowa City West will try to break it. Here's Grace Fincham, wearing number 12 for Iowa City West. Keep an eye on her today. Really one of those key players in backcourt, a travel.
Yeah, just a couple extra hops there from Freeze, and Northwest, knowing that they've got a lot of good athletes out there, are going to continue to press the issue, create a lot of possessions in this game.
So Waukee Northwest again will go inside to Danberg. This time can't get the bucket, and the rebound comes down to Fincham, who will try to push tempo. Baldwin will launch, and in and out. Boy, that one was around the cylinder. And the Wolves, again, will bring it up. Vogt at the top. Off to Croat, who will fire a 3. Left it long, gets her own rebound back, and Croat can't get the jumper, but the Wolves will keep it alive. Village goes inside. Danberg goes to the line to shoot 2.
Danberg getting some great opportunities early on that time to roll off the screen up around the free throw line elbow, but there's some great opportunities under the basket for Northwest to finish him off.
That foul going to be called on Grace Fincham, her first. And Danberg able to get the free throw. Now with 3 in the game. Northwest came into the contest shooting nearly 70% from the free throw line. And Danberg right at 77%. Goes 1 out of 2, and the rebound to Fincham. So Iowa City West, you mentioned, Andy, a very good three-point shooting team.
Northwest has that height down low. You're probably going to see them extend everything defensively right now, trying to get hands and faces. Logan Vogt's drawn Fincham so far.
Looking to drive, Freeze, now the kick out. Fincham for 3. Can't get it to fall. And the rebound tapped down to Waukee Northwest.
Now they're going to make her shoot over 6'2" all day long.
Great size and length out of these Wolves. Village for 3, not there. Rebound will come down to Waukee Northwest. The putback deflected away as McCann tried to get a good look. Still a 3-0 ball game in favor of Northwest.
Wolves crashing the offensive glass early on in this one, trying to take advantage of that height they've got.
Now to the corner goes to Baldwin, 10 on the shot clock. Trying to shake free from both, that's tough to do. And that jumper partially deflected away by Logan Vogt, and the junior will push it ahead. Croat along the baseline, skip pass to Village, and she's going to be held. See who this is on. This is going to be on Fincham, and she'll draw her second. That is a huge foul.
Yeah, Fincham coming in at 19 points a game. Future Drake women's basketball player. Got to have her on the floor. Probably switch her defensively right now. I think they had her up around Croat before, but we take some pressure off her on the defensive end.
Danberg will take a couple of dribbles in, hands out to Croat. That's a three, not there. McCann with the board for the Wolves. Kept alive, now Bilic. And again, another long rebound for Waukee Northwest. They're owning the glass, and Croat, this fire, not there. Fincham will track down the board, will swim it back in as it goes to Baldwin.
Getting a lot of opportunities, just not able to finish anything right now.
Now to the top, Newmiller. That's not there. Some cold shooting, though, for both out of the gate.
Keep shooting, though, right? Keep shooting. Those percentages will eventually catch up to you.
Well, shooters shoot and shot makers make shots. We've not seen a three drop. The only scoring coming out of this one so far is out of Cassidy Danberg, as she'll check out of the game now, and Victoria Burpo, the sophomore, will come in. As that's great size being exchanged for one another. As Burpo's listed at 6'2", and how about the bucket by McCann?
Yeah, I love McCann going to her left hand right there. Just a sophomore, over 13 points a game, does a nice job leading this squad. She's a good basketball player.
Now to the three from the corner. That's good!
Lost in transition, Kate Van Wanning just sprints down to the corner, and is everybody looking for whoever they're guarding, and Van Wanning's just alone down there for the wide open three.
And let's see if that gets the juices flowing here for Iowa City West in a 5-3 game. Croat on the wing, looks to Burpo. Now the huge skip pass, Vogt the triple. And Burpo, another offensive board, and the kick out to Bilic as they reset with a fresh 35. Now McCann. Can't get it off the glass. Burpo, a board, no putback. And this is lost out of bounds as the Trojans say thank you, as they were getting out muscled on the glass there.
11 rebounds already for Waukee Northwest, 7 of them on the offensive end, and we're just over halfway through the first quarter.
Grace Fincham will re-enter the game with those 2 fouls. She's back out onto the floor for Iowa City West. You mentioned they need her. She'll push tempo as she gets it up into the front court to Newmiller. And now a foul and one. Guess who? Grace Fincham, able to tie this one up.
She's the one they're going to need to have a big day right now, and just so much savvy getting down the floor.
Fincham, a gamer, no doubt, has over 1,000 points in her career and over 500 rebounds, and she gives Iowa City West the lead. Now the concern for Waukee Northwest, shooting just 15% so far in this opening quarter, held at just 5 points. They've gotten a lot of great looks inside. Here's another one, but it's going to be swatted away. Knocked out by Van Wanning.
Yeah, they've had some good looks, especially from 3, but have not been able to get anything to fall so far. 0 for 6 from three-point land for Northwest.
Off into the corner, Croat, her triple, good!
I just needed to remind them of that fact, that they hadn't made one yet.
Romy gives the Wolves the lead at 8-6. Now this one going to be deflected out. It will stay with Iowa City West. The Sam Powell coach teams love pressure, and that's why you see Waukee Northwest really putting a lot of bodies up into that front court. Now Fincham off the dribble, will break it. Van Wanning. Now to the top. Freeze tries to enter it, going to be deflected out, lost out of bounds. Burpo was going after it for Waukee Northwest.
Van Wanning couldn't quite handle it across the lane, but then, yeah, as you mentioned, Burpo just gets a hand on it, knocks it away. But look at that look on the inside. Man, missed a little shove in the back there. But
great hands by McCann to knock it away. An offensive board here for Iowa City West. The triple, Newmiller not there. Burpo able to get the board.
West just has to get their legs under them right now from three-point land.
McCann, yes.
That was a quick release. That's about as quick a release as you're going to see in high school girls basketball.
Sadie with 5 and a 5-point lead for Waukee Northwest. Here's Newmiller, able to find her teammate and Savannah Mathis, who just checked into the game, able to get the bucket.
West hasn't had much issue breaking the press. In fact, I thought they missed an opportunity. The possession before that time, they finished it up, getting the ball down low to Newmiller.
Now we see the scoring starting to pick up. Croat from the foul line, off to the kick out. Burpo spins to her left, can't get the bucket, but gets her own board, comes spinning back left, and will draw contact, and Victoria will go to the line.
Victoria Burpo really burst onto the scene this year, sitting at just over 4 points a game, but man, when she comes in, she makes her presence felt. It's about 4 or 5 rebounds a game. You see, she's battled a bunch so far here this morning. Already 4 rebounds.
Able to get the free throw down. Her and Danberg have really done a nice job throughout the season, owning the paint, not grabbing headlines, but owning the paint.
The length that Waukee Northwest has across the board right now. You look at Burpo at 6'2", Olivia Templeman on the bench at 6'3", then the starters Danberg 6'1", Logan Vogt 6'2". She checks back into the game right now too, but it is so hard for teams to match up with their length.
Back to a 5-point game. Fincham will launch it down court. Too hard of a pass for Newmiller to handle. It'll be turned over with 1:03 to play in the opening quarter.
Well, and it looked like she was open, and that to complete that pass, though, everybody on the run, it's a lot more difficult than what it looks like. A little over-the-shoulder catch attempt.
And how about this? Vogt goes up strong, draws some big-time contact, comes down hard, and is okay, but will go to the line.
Collective breath taken by the Waukee whole side. Logan Vogt's a superstar athlete across the board for Northwest. She's had a lot of success, not only in basketball, but really part of the first family of Iowa, that DeVries family. Her sister Jody played in this same basketball state tournament. Volleyball player at UNI. Logan will go play at Iowa State down the road, and Uncle Darren coaching at Indiana. So this family knows how to play ball. They know how to win.
And that foul on Grace Fincham, that's her third, Andy, and is going to have to grab a lot of bench here in the game. And Iowa City West looks out of sorts. That's deflected out, last touch by Croat. So it'll stay with Iowa City West.
That is a huge storyline right now, is where they're going to make up for that 19 points a game that Fincham has sitting on the bench right now. She won't be able to play anymore in this first half. She'll be on the bench the entire second quarter.
And it really will affect her style of play, the way that she plays downhill. So Mathis goes to Van Wanning, guarded up there tightly by Bilic, who will pick her pocket. To the rack.
Well, and that becomes who's going to handle the ball as well right now for Iowa City West, as Fincham had done a nice job handling the press.
Nate Freeze has seen enough. He takes a timeout here. 16-8. Waukee Northwest on an 8-0 run after falling down 8-6. And now Sam Powell inside of that huddle in his 18th season overall as a head coach. Won a state championship at Des Moines East back in 2011. In his third season at Waukee Northwest, as he took over one of the legends in the game, and Chris Guest, who, by the way, went to college, came back as a graduate, now coaching at Van Meter.
I did not know he was at Van Meter right now. Okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, Coach Guest had a lot of fun covering his teams at Waukee.
And look out for Van Meter in years to come. 28 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Iowa City West down 16-8, in trouble in backcourt, and Croat just a wrecking ball, able to tie that one up. It's going to stay with Iowa City West with 18 to go in the quarter.
Croat plays the game the way it's meant to be played. Everything she does is just high tempo, high effort. Never see her taking any time off. Oh, wow.
Grace Fincham with 3 fouls re-entering the game with 18 seconds to play in the opening quarter here. As that's deflected in backcourt. Great defense also into the game. Leah Janulevich, the 5'9" junior, wearing 14, and now Croat going to be whistled for the foul. That is going to be the third team foul on Waukee Northwest. Croat will pick up her first. Now they get it to Fincham in backcourt. Grace will be able to bounce it ahead to Baldwin. Now she'll get it back at the top. Grace, game clock winding down. Fincham to work. A little strong on the shot and the rebound. Waukee Northwest with a half-court heave. Won't count if it goes. But how about the opening quarter for Waukee Northwest? Falling down but getting themselves back up and holding the Trojans to just 8 points. They lead it 16-8 through the opening quarter. We'll be back with more as you're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
16-8 our score. Northwest with the lead on Iowa City West. Well, we can tell you, from homeowners to small businesses, Iowa banks know what it means to invest in the future. Their customer relationships are built on shared values and earned trust. Iowa Bank's your partner through it all. With Andy Pollock, BJ Shaven here courtside, here for this final Class 5A quarterfinal as the state basketball tournament opening up here today with Class 5A action. Up next, Class 3A will be hitting the hard court. But in this final quarterfinal, Waukee Northwest has doubled up Iowa City West. And there's some storylines mounting against the Trojans as Croat will attack the paint and will get the roll. Great feed from Danberg as Romy Croat now with 5 in the game.
Well, Grace Fincham, that's the storyline right now is ooh.
And now Sasha Baldwin coming up a little hurt with her lower back. She's going to get some time to grab some air here.
Says she's fine, trying to wave it off, but they already stopped the clock for her. But yeah, with Fincham right in front of us right now, playing with 3 fouls, really only about 3 minutes of play in that first quarter.
Savannah Mathis will be in out on the floor. Sasha Baldwin, who can really shoot the 3. In fact, #1 in school history for made 3-point field goals. Has 43 this season, now on the bench with somewhat of an injury. We'll try to keep you updated if she remains out of the contest. Iowa City West back at it with Mathis. Guarded by Danberg. 10 on the shot clock now as Ava Fries will look to work. And she'll get her pocket picked by Croat. Romy dishes it ahead to Village, to McCann, and the bucket, and 1.
I don't know if we'll have a chance to see on the replay right now, but that is textbook 2-on-1 fast break play there. Wait till the defense commits to you. Dish it off. Outstanding look.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7.
So you see Sadie. Mid-American Energy really loved that.
They were big fans of that one.
Able to cap off the 3-point play. As how about this? Another steal in backcourt, near steal. Now let's see if the Trojans can work with it. Freeze out ahead to Mathis. And she'll be blocked by Danberg, but Cassidy also grabs some arm. And going to the free throw line is going to be Savannah Mathis.
Yeah, just the big swing there from Danberg, too. Doesn't do herself any favors. But, man, Waukee Northwest makes life not fun when you're trying to dribble through that pressure and just have the ball. There's no moment to even breathe. And they've got the athletes to do it.
Mathis off the bench with 3. As Northwest has that 11-point lead. And McCann will get the rebound on the second opportunity. Sadie will bring it ahead. Now to Croat. Romy thought about it. Coils it back. Well, this is the same lineup, though, for last season's team that did qualify for state, as Bilic will drive in and draw contact. Who's that on? And it's going to be on Abby Newmiller, her first. Grace Fincham was in the area playing with those 3 fouls.
She's got to stay away if the ball's coming at her right now. She's in there for offense.
As Bilic able to connect on the free throw.
Yeah, you started talking about it. This team, so much talent back. Their junior class at Northwest is just outstanding. And a lot of those same girls on their state championship volleyball team, all juniors, with the exception of Vogt, not Logan Vogt, but her sister. And they are primed for a nice run again next year, but also looking to make some noise on the hardwood here.
Good to see Sasha Baldwin back in the game, the 5'7" junior, handling the ball after that lower back injury. Now will fire a 3 and left it long. And Danberg fouled on the rebound. Who is this on? As again, I think Grace Fincham is pleading her case. And that'll be her 4th.
Wow. Whew. I don't know what you do right now with all those points sitting on the bench.
I'm telling you, Grace Fincham is must-watch basketball, but you cannot redeem your tickets if you paid. She's sitting on that bench, with 4. This entry pass going to be stolen away. Let's see if the Trojans can rally. And Bilic just waits for the opportunity and finishes. And a timeout going to be taken by Nate Freeze in Iowa City West. And Nate Freeze wanting to know about that foul as he's got some words. But 22-9 is the score with 5:40 to play here in the opening half. And Northwest doing what Northwest has done throughout much of this season.
Well, you see the turnovers starting to mount up right now, and just everything they do to make you uncomfortable and everything they do defensively. And then eventually, early on, they have a tough time making the baskets fall. And now, just like that, the baskets are starting to fall. This is a team that once they get that lead, it becomes very difficult to come back on. See a nice pocket pick there from McCann, or excuse me, that's Bilic. Yeah, they have some athletes out there running around on the floor.
Iowa City West shooting just 27% from the field. They've turned it over a number of times. But Waukee Northwest, what they've done, and in particular to Pleasant Valley in that regional final, held PV to just 18% shooting in that game. The Wolves also 8-4 against teams that are 500 or better. And against the state tournament field, that's where they have their losses. Does Waukee Northwest on the season? Lost to a good Washington team to begin the season, but you got Johnston and Dowling mixed in there too.
And they continue to battle against those teams week in and week out. And you mentioned, kind of a slower start to the year, but you knew with the athletes they had and the success they've experienced that they were going to be right back in one of these situations here. I'm just impressed with the way they rebound everything. There's no second chances right now for the Trojans. Out rebounding Iowa City West 17-7 right now. But someone else is going to need to step up right now as you see him just extend it right now, smelling some blood in the water, trying to trap and get some turnovers.
Croat able to knock that ball out of bounds.
Just pestering, absolutely pestering.
5 on the shot clock. Again, 5:09 to play here in the opening half. Freeze will get it in to Van Wanning. The deep 3 this time by Newmiller, not there. And how about that fighting for the rebound, Van Wanning?
She was one amongst 3 other Wolves, and she came down with it.
Freeze now the kick out. Baldwin going to be guarded closely by McCann. Trojans look to reset. Baldwin backing in on McCann. Takes the jump shot. Can't get it to fall. Burpo with the board. Janulevich will fire it up top to McCann. Now to Vogt. Out on the floor for Waukee Northwest, McCann, Janulevich, Vogt, Croat, and Burpo. For Iowa City West, it's Freeze, Matthias, Van Wanning, Newmiller, and Baldwin. Janulevich, good move to the interior, but gets swatted away that time by Abby Newmiller.
Drew a triple team as she got it down along the baseline. I'm just watching Northwest play defense on the defensive end. They make you play at a little bit different tempo than you really want to play with. Everything just feels rushed right now for West.
And into the game, Grace McCann, the freshman, just took that three-pointer. And now Croat a foul in backcourt. So Sam Powell changing up his lineup out on the floor with a good 15-point lead about halfway through the second quarter here. Just domination by the Wolves, especially on the glass, but a three ball will help as Van Wanning knocks down her second triple.
You need some of those shots to get them back into this game and keep things interesting. That was one of the better looks that Iowa City West has had in this first half.
Here's Burpo. Strong finish, and we'll go to the line.
Strong finish is right. Burpo threw some hard contact, and it's Newmiller that she's bodied up with down low. Got a good chunk of her. In one-on-one, good finish at the hoop.
So Sadie McCann back into the game. Will check in for her sister Grace. Croat will also check out. Vogt back in for Waukee Northwest. And Iowa City West also going to their bench. As checking in for the first time is going to be Olivia Headings, the 5'9" freshman. Again, the Trojans having to do this with Grace Fincham. Got three quick ones and then picked up her fourth. Baldwin. Now Burpo with the defense. That's going to be knocked out. 11 seconds to go on the shot clock,
well,
but a foul call.
Yeah, they got Burpo for a foul there away from the basket. Not ideal for her to get that call 19 feet away.
So the Trojans, again, just trying to shake this defense that has been smothering them so far here in the first half, and now another steal by Bilic. Out ahead to Burpo. She'll drive and attack and will go to the line to shoot two. That foul going to be on Headings, her first.
Burpo getting some opportunities here at the free throw line. I like how she's running the floor, getting down there and getting some great looks in transition. The Trojans, right now with really no height to contend with Waukee Northwest on the floor. In fact, it looks like about every position Northwest is looking down on them right now.
Burpo now with 5. Iowa City West also back to their bench. Freshman Ellie DeWard will check in for the first time. Cassidy Danberg back in for Waukee Northwest. She'll go in for Burpo. Now Sasha Baldwin trying to handle the ball here against traffic, able to get it into the front court for a short time as Van Wanning against stolen away again by Bilic. The left-hand layup too strong. This is going to stay with Waukee Northwest.
Turnovers mounting up right now. That's 7 or 8 right now on Iowa City West. It feels like they've all been in the last couple minutes.
And a timeout going to be taken here by Waukee Northwest. So Sam Powell wanting to talk things over. 30-second timeout taken by the Wolves, who are looking to advance to take on Dowling Catholic for round 3 of their matchup so far this season. Earlier today, Johnston best Ankeny Centennial to open things up 54-30, led by Jenica Lewis's 13 points. Kelly Cobb with a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds. Ankeny, a winner over Cedar Rapids, Washington, 57-44. And then you had Dowling Catholic just a few moments ago, besting Valley 55-48. The freshman Adrian Sears scoring a game-high 24 in that one to help the Maroons advance. Here's Danberg. Left hand gets the bucket, and Cassidy Danberg now has 5.
I think she took a little shot to the face there, too, on the finish. Nice, smooth little baby hook.
Ava Fries to Headings. Little weave up top. Van Wanning back to Fries along the baseline. Will somehow get that shot off and get it to go down.
Just about to mention, yeah, they gotta attack the basket right now. There's a lot going on around the perimeter, and Headings did a good job of slicing through. Gotta attack those. You gotta attack that pressure right now. Can't just sit back and let Northwest do what they want.
And offensively, Northwest starting to get things going. I mean, started off very cold from the field, now shooting at 40% for the game. Here's Billage. And that rebound left up for grabs. McCann will grab it and finish.
How about the effort there from Sadie McCann? I think she was all the way out of bounds after she missed it, then beat everybody back on the floor to get her own rebound.
33-14. That ball going to be deflected out. And Waukee Northwest will get it back on the turnover. A 19-point Waukee Northwest advantage.
Keep saying nothing's easy right now for Iowa City West. In fact, Northwest has made everything hard. They've made it really hard to do anything.
Danberg making it look easy for the Wolves as Cassidy gets her 3rd field goal of the game. And now a foul in backcourt. This goes against Vogt. That'll be her first.
Maybe a couple free throws here for Iowa City West. That rule a couple years ago when they changed it to make it no more 1-and-1s and just shooting. Yeah. Was that 3-4 years ago now? And I like what it's done for everything but the 4th quarter. That's where I don't like where it's impacted the game there. If you see teams that play clean defense all the way along and then have to foul everybody a bunch there at the end just to get somebody to the free throw line. You almost have to plan ahead for being behind.
Ava Fries goes 1 out of 2 on that trip.
Yeah,
and was there a lane violation?
Yeah, Vogt, I saw, stepped in the lane a little bit early.
So Ava, 5'5" senior, will get an opportunity to do it again here. Can't get the second one to fall on the rebound to Janulevich. So 35-15, a 20-point advantage for Waukee Northwest. Here's McCann for 3. Not there, and the rebound will come down to the Trojans. Van Wanning just got her pocket picked again by McCann with the left-hand layup. Sadie, relentless in double figures, now with 11.
Brings so much energy to the floor.
Here's Fries with the reverse, not there. And McCann with another board. The 5'10" sophomore having a game of games last year, coming off the bench this year in a starting role. Did miss some games this season with an injury, but really responded well down the stretch, averaging better than 15 points in her last 5 games. Janulevich able to get the 3, and the rebound comes down to the Trojans, and that is the end of the first half. A half dominated by Waukee Northwest as they take a 22-point lead into the locker room. What a half. Well, when we come back, we'll have more here from the Casey Center as you're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament powered by Mid-American Energy.
Frank. Oh, it looks like you spilled some grease.
Grills are multiplying and you need flavor that's bold.
There's nothing left
to go to Fairway. Your dream for Midwest me. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you better stake up. Fairway and meat go hand in hand.
This dream is meant for you and me.
Poultry, pork, and beef, your home for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes, indeed.
Fairway, it's the one you need.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
Health powers life, from the delightfully routine to the truly uncharted. Sometimes life takes an unexpected turn, like receiving a cancer diagnosis. At Mercy One, you have access to a team of cancer experts with advanced technologies and holistic therapies for the cancer care you need close to home. Our team will guide you every step of the way, ensuring you're ready no matter what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
It takes a village to care for a patient. From all of the various people, if you come see us, that you'll meet. Every one of those people, we try to get people that are committed to making that the best experience that they can do.
I think the breadth of coverage that we're able to provide, I think is unique. All of these different facets that all intertwine are what allow us to take care of the community the way that I feel they should.
At DMOS, we're here when you need us.
Welcome back to the Girls State Basketball Tournament here at the Casey Center in Des Moines as you're watching the Waverly Shell Rock dance team perform here at intermission. And what a first half, really dominated by Waukee Northwest as they have a 22-point lead through the opening half, 37-15. As Andy, we saw some things good out of Waukee Northwest. I mean, owning the glass, the rebounding advantage, 24-11. A lot of offensive putbacks, but a lot of steals so far by Waukee Northwest. And Iowa City West trying to figure out things or build the plane in the air, if you will, losing their star player in Grace Fincham, sitting on the bench with 4 fouls and just 3 points.
Well, and the question is, when does she come back? Because at what point does it just become counterproductive not to have her on the court? I mean, it already is counterproductive, but at what point is it where that we're going to be so far behind that it doesn't matter if she's on the floor anyway right now, and you lose her ball handling, you lose her scoring, and that's when we saw the turnovers start to mount up, is when she came off the court. So really the one that makes this team go, and now she's stuck over there. And the problem was 2 of those fouls just came a long ways away from the basket, things that she didn't need to be doing. So that has her on the bench, and you come to the state tournament and get 32 minutes to play, and that gets shortened by a bunch when you get 3 fouls in the first 6 minutes of the game and another one right away after.
Well, 37-15. Let's take a look at the first half statistics, as the stats are brought to you by Sioux Cup. As in the first half, a good I guess coming into the matchup, let's mention this. For Iowa City West, they were a team that was on fire. 52% so far in the postseason, including 61% from three-point range. And the Trojans just 2 of 9 in that opening half, and that's a lot of credit to Waukee Northwest. They play defense for head coach Sam Powell, as Waukee Northwest shooting about 42%. You know, the rebounding advantage, how about that? 12 offensive rebounds and 12 defensive rebounds, but 6 steals. What a difference. And 9 turnovers committed by the Trojans.
Well, the turnovers are one thing, but those steals, that leads to opportunities on the other end when you have those steals. And we've seen that a bunch, and a lot of run-out looks for Northwest. And they're doing everything they want to do right now, absolutely everything they want to do. And as you mentioned, things just made it a lot more difficult with Grace Fincham on the bench. But that shooting, they were going to need to make a lot of threes to stay in this game today, and it's just not happening right now. They're just not getting many opportunities to even shoot them right now.
Boy, leading the way for Waukee Northwest is Sadie McCann, the sophomore, with 11 points. 7 each for Victoria Burpo and Cassidy Danberg, 6 for Vanna Billich, and 5 for Romy Croat. 6 points for Iowa City West, Kate Van Wanning, with a couple of threes. She's made the only perimeter shots on the day so far for Iowa City West. Now, for the second half, you'd mentioned, we will see Grace Fincham. She has those 4 fouls. I mean, for Nate Freeze, your game plan has to be so far out the window. What do they strategize for in the second half, or how do they do it?
Yeah, you're going to have to get uncomfortable, probably have some girls take shots that normally wouldn't take shots, and you just need someone else to step up. And it's going to mean some people doing some things that they don't normally do, which they've already had to do that a little bit, but you take everybody in for a 12-minute break right now and let them know, this is what I need from you, this is what I need from you, and maybe you haven't done that before, but right now we're going to ask you to do that. And it's desperate times call for desperate measures, and while you don't want to push the panic button too quick, we're about to that point right now for Iowa City West.
37-15. When we come back, more halftime festivities as you're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's state basketball tournament.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
I sure hope Fincham doesn't hit the
Yeah,
total.
it's a trip when you hit the road.
Might see her.
And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
It's the simplest expression. Smallest thing that changes everything. A smile. So easy. A smile lights it up. Apologizes. And welcomes unconditionally. Because the shortest distance between 2 people is a smile.
Thank you.
Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle.
As we take a quick break from tournament coverage, All of us at the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union want to extend our sincere appreciation to our title sponsor, the Iowa Farm Bureau, for their continued support of this championship event. I'm joined once again by Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, who's here to share more about the special souvenirs our participating student athletes will be taking home this week.
You know, that's right, Aaron. Our incredible student athletes won't be leaving empty-handed. Every athlete competing today will take home a custom souvenir bag tag to commemorate their hard work and dedication. And for our championship teams, we're thrilled to present pink championship ball caps, a bold symbol of everything that they've earned. Athletes will also receive a signature ball, perfect for collecting autographs from coaches and teammates and creating a keepsake that they'll treasure for years. Each of these items is more than just swag. They're reminders of what's possible when you work hard and follow your dreams.
Brent, thank you to the Iowa Farm Bureau for helping make this championship experience so special for our athletes. Now let's get back to the action.
37-15 as we're about ready to get the second half underway with Andy Pollock. I'm BJ Shaven as you're watching the final Class 5A quarterfinal of the day. Second ever meeting between these two, which, by the way, was won by Waukee Northwest a year ago in the 25 season, in which Northwest won 74-45. The difference in this one, foul trouble, has really plagued Iowa City West, and for Waukee Northwest, I mean, they're getting their game on, forcing a lot of turnovers so far, combined with some high percentage shots have really put Northwest up to this lead, but no lead is insurmountable when you can shoot the ball like Iowa City West, you had mentioned, coming into the state tournament, leading the state in three-point field goals. And, they prepared themselves by playing a very difficult schedule. Iowa City West scheduled up this year. They won the Mississippi Division outright. First time they've been able to do that since 2019. And first state tournament appearance since 2021. Played Johnston to a 10-point game back on February the 16th. Now as we get set to begin the second half, Iowa City West will start with the basketball. As out on the floor, it's Ava Fries, Kate Van Wanning, Abby Newmiller, Grace Fincham, and Sasha Baldwin for Waukee Northwest. They're starting five in McCann, Billich, Vogt, Croat, and Danberg.
Fincham out there with the basketball right there, creating an opportunity for a teammate.
Sasha Baldwin will take advantage. We mentioned number one in school history and made three-point field goals, now with 44 on the season.
See if Northwest tries to set a screen and get someone isolated one-on-one on Fincham. Right there you saw she had the ball down low, or had the defensive assignment down low and quickly backed away, so there was no contact.
Danberg dropping it like it's hot off the glass. Gets two back. Here's Fries on the penetration, the fadeaway, and how about that? Ava Fries getting her fifth point.
4 o'clock in the afternoon, bank still open. Just a nice sweet kiss off the glass.
Croat goes inside to McCann, the dish to Danberg. The wrap pass to Croat, who will finish it.
Well, again, I hate to keep beating a dead horse, but Fincham just has to back away from everything down low right now. They need her on the offensive end.
Van Wanning on the drive on Danberg. Left-hander too strong, and the rebound to Croat.
Like how they're taking it at the hoop right now to start the second half, though. Didn't see that as much in the first half.
Romy into McCann will get the basket. Waukee Northwest, no stranger to championships. They've only state championship they haven't won in girls golf last spring, and they lost that one by a stroke. It is win, baby, win at Waukee Northwest. And trying to garner their school's first ever state basketball championship. Should say they've won everything since last year's state tournament.
Yeah, they've got to mention it earlier, but that junior class is going to allow them to maybe win a few more things.
McCann ends up with the ball. That was Bilic who tipped it to her, and McCann, Sadie, able to get the basket now with 15 in the game.
As I mentioned, the junior class, it's a sophomore then that goes down and lays it off the glass.
Well, a ton of multi-sport athletes. As Newmiller has that one deflected away, Bilic will end up with it. Vanna can't get it. And picking up the rebound, Van Wanning will get it to Fincham.
Croat, you mentioned she's part of a soccer state championship team, and McCann track and cross country, and Logan Vogt and Cassidy Danberg are track and cross country athletes as well, and I love it. And I love that the coaches are able to make it work. That's one thing that you see. There's a lot of good athletes out there, and it's easy to say that you want multi-sport athletes until it involves taking a player away from your sport, but they do just as good a job as anybody at Waukee Northwest of sharing athletes, and it's created this success across the board on their girls' athletics.
Ava Fries picks up the foul. To the line with Sadie McCann. Leah Janulevich back into the game. Also checking in for the first time in the late half is the freshman Grace McCann, the younger sister of Sadie.
There's a freshman over on the bench for Iowa City West right now, Josephine Austin, who is going to be a force to be reckoned with in a couple different sports down the road right now. I didn't know if we'd have a chance to see her yet tonight or not, but she is going to be a fun player to watch as well in the future. 6'1", jumps out of the gym.
Croat had a friendly fire deflect that ball away. And now a foul going to be called on Waukee Northwest. This goes against Vogt.
Now a loose ball right now, and Logan Vogt. It's easy to say she's athletic, she's 6'2", but you see her on the ground going after balls all the time. That competitiveness just doesn't turn off. The flip doesn't switch. It's everything they do.
And the Iowa State volleyball recruit will check out. Victoria Burpo back in. So you got Burpo and Danberg both out on the floor as McCann tried to get the rebound there, but a foul going to be called, or no, they just called that deflection. Last touch by Iowa City West. Grace Fincham thought she was whistled for a foul and was ready to exit stage right. A little shell-shocked playing with those 4 fouls. She got them early on in the second quarter.
I'd like to go to a Northwest practice at some point, just see how they go about doing things, because I imagine you're going to see a few bloody noses out there with Coach Sam Powell's defense and the way they play everything. They just keep coming at you. They play 8 girls, but there's no drop-off depending on who's on the court at all.
Ball going to be deflected away. Fincham with the extra hustle. Gets it ahead to Newmiller, who will attack. And great defense by the freshman McCann to force the tough shot. It'll stay with Iowa City West. 28-point ball game. As the officials will talk it over. Yep, got the correct call. By the way, great crew here. And Chris Thomas, Ben Lichtenberg, and Bill Mock. Croat on the defense. That one gets in as Iowa City West 3 left short. Romy up with a rebound. A hard spin to her left, can't finish it. And the rebound to Fincham.
Great job by Van Wanning to anticipate the spin. She got in front of Croat. Really cut her off nicely.
They'll get it into Fincham. The fade. Folks, she can light it up when given an opportunity. She's got 5.
How much more comfortable does West's offense just look in general right now with Fincham back out on the floor, man? It's going to be a lot of what could have been today.
Croat's 3, pure. Romy now in double figures with 10. Fincham with the answer, yes.
Kind of fun to see the little spark back on the Iowa City West side right now, but just a huge mountain to overcome still. I mean, Northwest hasn't backed off a bit, not in the slightest right now.
But the shots are starting to fall for both. Burpo can't get that one to go. Fincham with the tough board, still hustling. Now the kick down to the corner. Baldwin left open and will make him pay. Sasha Baldwin with her second triple here in the late half. As Waukee Northwest and Iowa City West dueling it out. Iowa City West, though, taking a timeout here, trying to do it in bits and pieces to try to come back into this game.
You mentioned earlier, shoot or shoot. Kept doing it right now, didn't stop, and that was going to be the key. You know, you're not going to probably shoot your normal percentage here at the state tournament unless you're Valley, who did indicate shot 60% from three in the game before, but just keep chipping away right now and maybe give yourself a chance later on. Try to, like you mentioned, piece by piece right now.
Well, and shot makers make shots. Sasha Baldwin, a couple of three-pointers here, as we mentioned, in the late half. Again, set up, though, by Grace Fincham, just handling the ball, taking a lot of pressure off of the other players for Iowa City West.
Yeah, it just makes this whole offense work so much better, so much smoother in everything that they do, and some good looks for West. Thought they might come back out and put a little pressure on right now. They've tossed a little bit out in this half, but maybe set up looks like a trap coming up right now. Gotta be careful, though, with Fincham out there. They force him into a corner. Nope, no trap, just back into man-to-man.
Here's Vogt, guarded by Fincham. Janulevich on the drive, draws contact. And Iowa City West with Ellie DeWard out on the floor will pick up the foul, her first.
That's a quick move off the dribble for Janulevich. Another one of those great volleyball players for Northwest.
Able to knock that free throw down, and they're going to be good again, folks, in volleyball. Leah going to go on to play at Drake.
One of those, she's an outside hitter on the school team, but she's going as a libero or defensive specialist to Drake. So it shows how good of an athlete you are. Doesn't leave the court very often.
Listed at 5'9", but can cover ground.
Those arms, though, I mean, she's long.
Got called there for a little extra length in on the ball on freeze. And Leah will pick up her first. As Fincham will get it inbounded in backcourt. DeWard surveying, will get it into Fincham. Now the three. Good, as it's knocked down this time by Olivia Headings, the freshman, with her first basket.
A little in and out game, creating some looks right now.
McCann goes inside. Bilic.
Boy, they attack in a hurry. Doesn't give you a whole lot of time to celebrate your made three-point shot.
And this one going to be tied up. Northwest has the possession arrow.
Croat just right there waiting for her as she spins into her. These teams are so well scouted out defensively. You see that year after year, just kind of defense is a step ahead of the game. You look at some of the amount of points put up record-wise in the past as you flip through the stat sheets, and it's not happening as much because teams are so much better scouted out, and it allows you to get a step ahead on the defensive end.
Romy with a finish and now a steal. Over to Vogt. Northwest pulls it back out. What a poised team.
You know, when you're ahead, you can play with as much poise as you want.
Janulevich on the drive, can't get it to fall. Fincham with the board. She'll look to run a little tempo. Grace with the pump fake and will draw contact and go to the line.
Boy, it would have been fun to see how things would have transpired if she would have been able to play a little bit more in that first half. We've just seen them do some really nice things offensively here with her in the game.
Vogt just picked up her third. Croat also playing with three.
Fincham, to her credit, she's been able to play very well with 4 fouls this entire second half.
Chloe Moan will come into the game for the first time for Waukee Northwest, wearing number 40. As Fincham makes good on both free throws. And Grace Fincham will now sit just to get a breather here as the closing moments. This is offense for defense substitution, no question, with her, those 4 fouls as Billich knocks down the triple. Third of the day for Waukee Northwest.
Waukee Northwest, decent three-point shooting team, but not what they're known for. They're known for their smothering defense and what they do otherwise, but that opportunity to knock down a couple good looks today.
Shot clock off. And the 3. Good spin, just couldn't get it to go down for Newmiller. And Janulevich will speed it ahead. Here's Billich, the triple. Gets her own rebound back at the horn. Why not a deuce? Vanna Billich able to cap it off. She has added to her point total here on the afternoon as Waukee Northwest will take a 29-point lead into the final 8 when we return as you're watching the 2026 Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable.
With Andy Pollock, BJ Shaban here from the 2026 Iowa Girls State Basketball Tournament from Casey's Center in Des Moines. We go to the final 8 minutes. Waukee Northwest in command at 62-33. As we begin the final quarter of play. As the Iowa City West Trojans will put out onto the court Ava Fries, Kate Van Wanning, Abby Newmiller, Grace Fincham, and Sasha Baldwin. For Northwest, it's Sadie McCann, Vanna Billich, Logan Boat, Romy Croat, and Cassidy Danberg. Here's a 3 from the top by Newmiller. Can't get it to fall. I beg your pardon, Grace McCann, the freshman, gets the start here in the 4th quarter.
Newmiller, one of the best three-point shooters in the state, has been held to nothing today. It's really hard to get anything to fall.
You know who's getting it to fall? Vanna Billich. Now with 15, McCann leading the way with 18. And 12 scored by Croat.
Billich does it all, it seems like, with a big smile on her face and everything that she does, too.
Baldwin letting it fly. Able to get that answer. Danberg on the block. Fincham with the board. And this going to be deflected out. It will stay with Iowa City West. So back to the bench go the Wolves. Danberg and Billich will check out. Janulevich and Burpo back in.
Tough spot to take the ball out of bounds. Down there in the corner, really rough spot. No problem with it, but especially when you're not able to move at all.
Newmiller thought about the 3, will drive in on Burpo.
Just be like everybody for Northwest handles the ball. It seems like everybody can shoot the ball. Everybody rebounds the ball. Bunch of balanced players.
Can do a lot of things right. Now here's the three. Vogt can't get it to fall, and the rebound comes down to the Trojans, who outlet it ahead. Vogt with that length, able to rip it away.
Tough to complete that pass over. Vogt playing free safety deep.
Here's Burpo. Will draw contact from New Miller, and Abby will pick up her second.
Victoria Burpo has been a player, again, this year early on in the season, saw her play, and you just tell that, the player like Danberg playing in front of her right now, some of the opportunities maybe not for her that other players would have of her caliber, but man, there is no drop-off off the bench when she comes in. Very physical presence in there for the Wolves, with a nice touch at the free throw line to boot.
Waukee Northwest back to their bench. Hadley Gensler in for the first time, and Liv Brown, the 5'7" junior, will check in. And now a timeout here taken as Sam Powell going through the strategy here with 5:57 to play. As Waukee Northwest looking to advance to take on Dowling Catholic. The two split during the regular season. Waukee Northwest winning at home 43-40, and then Dowling Catholic winning on their home court. Now we go to the big neutral court, if you will. That'll be coming up on Thursday morning. And then also the other semifinal, Johnston and Ankeny. Your Class 3A tournament going to be tipping off here at 5 o'clock. How about this? Mount Vernon, #1 in the state.
They're back.
They're back. And looking to win another state championship, taking on Cherokee, who enters at 20-3. And some have said have been a lookout for the Braves. That'll be quite the matchup coming up at 5.
I remember you and I having a conversation maybe a year or two ago on a Saturday afternoon, and you were telling me about some of the up-and-coming talent for Cherokee and what that was going to look like. And I always appreciate the knowledge you've got about especially girls basketball all around the state, because I mean, you and I both, we see a lot of these youth tournaments and what's going on there, and there's certainly no lack of talent that's coming up through the ranks right now on both sides of the state.
Oh, and it's always on display. And, as Waukee Northwest goes back to their benches, Chloe Moan will come back in for Burpo. And also coming in for the first time is Dylan Peterson, the 5'7" senior, getting some minutes here. But people ask, when you travel around, do some ball games, different parts of the country, and you mentioned what's your favorite game you have ever done? Well, it's always the girls' state basketball championships, and they ask, well, how good is the talent really in Iowa? Well, when you think about it, probably the world's best player. Of course, we're talking about Caitlin Clark. She only won one state tournament game and did not make it to the state tournament her senior year. Sorry, I got to mention that.
I know, but that's how hard it is.
That's truly how hard it is, how good it is. And that talent is not stopping as Grace Fincham draws contact and will go to the line to shoot two.
Well, you just go through the list of who we've seen play at this state tournament, even in the last 10 years. Audie Crooks.
Yeah.
Just so many ladies that we've seen play at the next level, and it's been a lot of fun to see that growth and that development. We've seen a lot of them play as freshmen here and grow up here at the state tournament and make a household name for themselves. One of those, Ellie Ruffridge, we're going to have her on the air over the next couple days as well, and just does some state's all-time leading scorer, which that may be threatened here in the next couple of years as well. So it'll be fun, and it always is fun just to not only see the ones who are here right now, but then to talk about the ones who have been here down the road, and they certainly do a good job of celebrating the Iowa girl here as well and recognizing that history.
A lot of fun as, and throughout the week, you get to see different parts of the state show up. And how about showing out? Chloe Moan able to knock down the triple. And back on the other end, Grace Fincham able to answer. She's in double figures with 13, has 8 rebounds, but again, what's hurt her the most is those 4 fouls in the first half.
Well, you mentioned all the different schools that we see throughout the course of the week today, all the big schools, but then come Wednesday afternoon, we're going to start to see the likes, Key High, way up in Northeast Iowa, and Linville, Sully, and Dunkerton, and a team that we see all the time here, Newell Fonda, and I know they've got some studs coming up as well, and that's a team that is poised to go on a nice little run here over the next few years. But yeah, it's fun just to see the wide breadth of sizes of schools and locations of schools and all the different stories that they come with as well.
69-41, Waukee Northwest with the advantage on Iowa City West. As this one, Iowa City West was able to actually get a lead early on 8-6. And then Waukee Northwest really cranked up the defense, if you will. And then took advantage of the star, Grace Bencham, as she's going to exit stage right. Might that be the last time we see her play in an Iowa City West uniform? And what a career she's had. Over 1,000 points in her career, over 500 rebounds, and taking this program back to the state tournament for the first time since 2021 and winning their first Mississippi Division title outright since 2019.
Well, it's a team, these seniors have just kind of seen everything get better and better as they've gone along. And, this is a team that I think, they say when they were freshmen, they won one game. I think it's what it was.
Yeah.
So they've obviously improved there a bunch. And Coach Freeze has things on the right trajectory right now for the Trojans.
Kyra Baldwin, the 5'5 freshman, will check in for the first time. And the Trojans also going to the bench as Talon Rahal will check in. As Waukee Northwest will go to their bench, Olivia Templeton in for the first time. She's joined by Moan, Brown, Peterson, and Hadley Gensler. As both teams kind of empty out their benches, 69-41. Kate Havel and company able to get things going. That basket by Rahal. And Ellie DeWard, Kyra Baldwin into the game. Putting on the deck and driving, Liv Brown. That's going to be deflected out. It's going to stay with Waukee Northwest. And
a special shout out to the Iowa City West students who weren't able to make the trip today because they're taking finals. They're on the trimester program, so watching from home. Probably a few of those classrooms, I get the messages with the games brought up on the big screens. But yeah, it's unfortunate the timing of it, but I get why it needs to be done. So probably kept the crowd for Iowa City West a little bit smaller today than it otherwise would have been.
Gensler able to get that basket. Olivia Scott also just checked in. She'll try to distribute the ball inside, and Gensler showing some athleticism, trying to knock that ball back in. And Callie Bruning, another freshman, off the bench for Iowa City West. Waukee Northwest staying busy. And checking in now, going to be Quinn Jorgensen, the 5'7" sophomore for Waukee Northwest.
Going to test you out here and see how far down the roster you're able to follow things right now.
That ball is deflected out. And the way that these two teams have played throughout the season, they've gotten some minutes. I mean, they've been crushing opponents throughout. And Iowa City West going into their bench one more time. Josephine Austin, a 6'1" freshman, will check in wearing number 11. So that ball going to be skipped around and knocked out. But also a pretty special memory here. We've still got 2:58 to play and getting some court action here at the state tournament.
Yeah, this isn't checking in, waiting for that final horn or needing a timeout to get in with 8 seconds left like some of us had the opportunity to when we were in school.
Here's Peterson in the paint. Can't get it to fall. And that rebound tipped out by the Trojans. So the Wolves will look to put it in play here with Jorgensen. Now to Moan at the top. Brown will launch. Can't get it to fall, and Moan with the rebound for Waukee Northwest. She'll drive in as the defense circled away from her. And how about this? Going to the line will be Chloe Moan.
So I get here early in the morning. There's usually a game of knockout with the IGHSAU staff that I've joined in on, and you may feel like you're the same distance away, or it's easy to talk about being the same distance away as you are during the regular season, but with just no backdrop there, wow, I have set a career record for air balls trying to shoot free throws from here. So when you step in, and I know a lot of these gals, especially at this level, they're playing in gyms that have open backdrops too, but it's different. You're staring up into a lot of empty space. It's a couple nice looking shots though.
Yeah, Moan able to drop it down. Came into the game just 1 of 4 from the free throw line, certainly improving those numbers right now. As there's going to be a foul on Brown as Olivia Headings was looking to drive it in. And coming back into the game for Waukee Northwest is going to be Grace McCann. She'll come in for Moan.
Nice opportunity not only for some of these gals to get minutes, but get in the stat book with rebounds and fouls. Different ways to get in, officially mark your participation in the 2026 state tournament.
Templeman going to be called for the foul there. Kate Havel into the game. Also out on the floor for Iowa City West. To the line with Josephine Austin. She knocks down the free throw. Callie Bruning, Olivia Headings, and Taylon Rahal. So Brown will check out. Gensler will come back in. And the Trojans back to their bench. Kyra Baldwin will re-enter. And both free throws go down by Austin. And Abigail Ooms into the game, the 5'7" freshman for Iowa City West. Now this three, good as it's splashed down by Dylan Peterson. How about that for the senior?
Yeah, we had a great view of that one. That was true from the moment it left her hand.
Austin will put it on the deck and get the bucket. Josephine Austin now with 4.
Yeah, we're going to hear her name a lot over the next few years, not just here in basketball, but volleyball as well. Her sister Sophie going to Iowa State to play volleyball there, and I think Josephine's going to follow in a very similar path in her athletic career.
Little spring in her step for Austin, getting those points here in the game. That one deflected away. Scrum for the ball. Northwest will get it. Out ahead to Gensler. She'll attack and hit.
I think she was expecting a lot more contact than what she ended up getting, and nice presence of mind to gather herself and get it off the glass and in.
Austin's 3 off the mark. And Gensler last touched it. So each team goes back to their bench. As Kate Havel will re-enter, along with Olivia Scott and Callie Bruning. She'll have the ball right now. 50 seconds remaining, looking to drive and finish. How about that? Kate Havel, the 5'4" freshman.
Yeah, I've liked the skills we've seen from some of these younger players on the court. Again, some nice skills from the young players on the court.
Grace McCann with the bucket. A 31-point lead with 30 seconds to play. More than likely our final possession here. Havel again in traffic, deflected out. It will stay with Iowa City West. So Waukee Northwest doing what they've been doing all postseason long, winning by a lot. Coming into this one, came in with a 39-point winning margin in postseason play, and right now have the lead to 31. As Iowa City West trying to close things out here with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. They'll drive. Can't get the layup. Good look, though, by Baldwin. As Brown going to hold it in backcourt, and that is going to be it. 80-49, Waukee Northwest will advance to take on Dowling Catholic in the semifinals on Thursday. Terrific game plan and defense by Waukee Northwest.
They smother you. That's what they do. They smother you. It's led to a lot of runouts, a lot of good points there. But, you know, today they were able to do some things in the half court as well. And, you know, we talked at length today about Iowa City West not having Grace Fincham a whole lot due to foul trouble, and that certainly impacted the game a bunch. But, man, Waukee Northwest executing as good as anybody at this stage of the season.
So it's a final here. Waukee Northwest will advance as they defeat Iowa City West 80-49. Coming up 5 o'clock, the 3A tournament will get started with the opening quarterfinal. Let's turn it over now, though, for the post-game awards with Tim Fitzpatrick.
Proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU, our Executive Director Aaron Gerlich and Basketball Administrator Tanya Moe. Congratulations to head coach Nate Freese and the Trojans of Iowa City West on an outstanding basketball season. Now we'd like to recognize today's Quick Star of the game, Sadie McCann. Her outstanding performance earns her the honor of advancing her team on the bracket to the 5A semifinal round. Thanks to Quick Star for their support of the IGHSAU. Wolves fans, your team advances to the 5A semifinals and plays Thursday at 11:45. Good luck. Fans, on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School.
All right, so it's a final 80-49. Waukee Northwest will advance. So the 5A semifinals are set. It's Johnston and Ankeny on Thursday morning at 10, followed by Dowling Catholic and Waukee Northwest. An all Central Iowa Metro League semifinal coming up on Thursday. On behalf of our analyst, Andy Pollack, I'm BJ Shaban here from Des Moines, and thank you for watching our live coverage of the 2026 Girls State Basketball Tournament presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered